Andor Season 2, Episodes 1, 2, and 3 end with a harsh reality about Star Wars Rebel Alliance. Beginning around a year after the uprising on Ferrix, Andor Season 2's story begins with the titular character stealing a prototype TIE Avenger and attempting to get it back to Luthen. However, his plans go awry when he learns of threats to other members of Andor's cast of characters, like Bix, leading Cassian to rush to the planet of Minerau to stop the Empire's dark plans. The final episode of Andor Season 2's first arc features this, with Minerau featuring a small uprising of its own that continues to flesh out the earliest days of Star Wars Rebel Alliance. In the final moments of Episode 3, the Imperials grow close to finding Bix, Brasso, and Wilman, with the former facing a dark moment of her own as Cassian races towards them. In a mature ending that solidifies the project as the best Star Wars TV show beyond all doubt, Andor Season 2 furthers the development of its characters, the brewing civil war, and outlines some dark truths about rebellion. Cassian Andor gets Bix off-world. But Brasso doesn't make it out alive. The price of freedom is high. The aforementioned dark secret about the Rebel Alliance that Andor Season 2, Episodes 1, 2, and 3 reveal is that, sometimes, rebels can be discarded for the wider cause. Since Cassian's first appearance in Rogue One, which takes place years after Andor Season 2, this was made clear when he shot Tivik, a rebel informant. In Andor Season 2, this is made clear by the death of Brasso. Brasso is, sadly, shot by stormtroopers after the Empire discovers his illegal presence on the planet of Minerau, with Cassian unable to save him in time. Cassian still manages to get Bix and Wilman away from Minerau, but Brasso is a tragic casualty of Andor Season 2's first act. The sad reality is that this was simply another moment in the war for the likes of Bix, Wilman, and Cassian. The trio, Cassian especially, had only fleeting moments to grieve and mourn Brasso before being forced to move on. This highlights the true cost of rebellion in a way Star Wars never has. Friendships and relationships will be lost, and those fighting for a better future, as Luthen's speech in Andor Season 1, Episode 10 points out, will have to sacrifice a lot to get there. Human emotions like grief and sorrow can be felt momentarily, but they need to be pushed aside for the greater good. Brasso's death at the end of Andor Season 2's first act proves this, revealing a mature, dark secret about the Rebel Alliance. The rebels aren't the only ones who pay the price of rebellion. The whole galaxy does. A grain silo in Andor Season 2, Episode 3. But another sad reality about the Rebel Alliance's efforts is raised by Andor Season 2, Episodes 1, 2, and 3, it is not only the frontline fighters who suffer the cost of rebellion. While the price of freedom will eventually lead to victory and the formation of Star Wars New Republic, a lot of pain, turmoil, and personal cost is experienced before that point, as Andor typifies. In Andor Season 2's first act, it is not only Brasso or his friends that pay a heavy price, but the innocent people of Minerau too. Although it is evident that the people of Minerau helped Bix, Brasso, and Wilman in the year between Andor Seasons 1 and 2, they will still likely suffer after Episode 3. After all, several Imperials lay dead in the middle of a census check, which will surely lead to ramifications for the farmers. Moreover, Cassian destroyed one of the grain silos, which could impact their livelihood. While it is no secret that the Minerau citizens will likely put up with this to be rid of the Empire, it is still a mature exploration of the costs of war and the price of freedom. Mon Mothma sacrifices her friends and family for rebellion. The events on Chandrila are about sacrifice too. Mon Mothma, Genevieve O'Reilly, looking over her shoulder at a party in Andor Season 2, trailer image Viaduct Disney+. Aside from the events surrounding Cassian, Bix, Brasso, and Wilman, Andor Season 2's first arc catches audiences up with Luthen and Mon Mothma. The duo spend time on Mon's homeworld of Chandrila, one of the core planets of Star Wars Galaxy map. The planet is hosting a wedding for Mon's daughter, something she was agreed to reluctantly in order to receive funding for the rebellion from a shady businessman named Davo Sculdun. Despite a very different tone to Cassian's story, the wedding emphasizes Mon having to sacrifice people she loves for freedom. Not only did Mon Mothma not want to allow her daughter to have an arranged Chandralan marriage with ties to a dangerous man like Davo, but she also had to deal with her friend, Te Foko. Te was another man who aided her in gaining funds for the rebellion's activities, Mon troubles with his personal life led him to try and extort Mon for more money. At Luthen's behest, Tay is killed by Cinta, a returning character from Andor Season 1, highlighting more of these dark secrets about rebellion and resistance. Mon is facing the reality of losing her very humanity to fight against the Empire. Her daughter is being forced into a life she did not choose, and her childhood friend, Tay, is killed. Mon is shown getting drunk and dancing wildly to escape this as she cannot handle the feeling of inhumanity, but Andor highlights that this was all necessary to eventually overcome the Empire. Even Cinta is shown being on the same planet as her lover without even knowing it, showcasing how the cause is more important than any one relationship. Rebellion may cost, but it's better than the alternative. The Empire will always be worse. A corrupt Imperial in Andor Season 2, Episode 3. Regardless of all of this darkness that surrounds the rebellion, one thing that makes Andor Season 2's first act so impactful is that it proves the alternative is far worse. The cost of freedom and the sacrifices people must make to beat the Empire are terrible, but Andor never loses sight of the fact that the tyrannical, fascistic rule of Palpatine's government must be destroyed. This is highlighted in a storyline that has never occurred in Star Wars before, which proves just how evil the Empire is. Before Bix escapes Minarao, an Imperial guard attempts to rape her. This is seeded early, with the guard trying to flaunt his power over someone he deems beneath him, but the story builds to a head. Bix fights him off, hitting him multiple times with a hammer, and Cassian subsequently arrives to fly her and Wilman away. Seeing such a blatant depiction of abuse against women by men in power felt exceptionally mature for a franchise like Star Wars, not only proving Andor's credentials as a story but also proving the Empire will always make life awful for regular people.